Kaboom.
Koa'ki Meirus. This box unloaded. I think there, how many, like mermails? I think there's more Koa'ki Meirus than mermails. 20, 21, 22, 23. I cannot think of any other deck type in the game ever to receive 23 cards in one box. If you could think of one, just tell me. I think this is a record. I think Konami was just like, you know what? Let's just dump the most cards ever for a deck type, and it's still maybe not be good. So, the super rare cards, we got two of them. We have Sandman, and we have Earn Knight. So the first thing I want to look at was this deck ever successful in the TCG? And if you were wondering that question on Ultra Athlete, the answer is no. There was never an Ultra Athlete deck that did well in the TCG, but you know what? That don't matter for Duel Links. We'll figure it out. We only look at this for ideas. All right, it had a nice little run for, okay, you know, few people, because most of the Koa'ki, so Koa'ki Meiru cards, they like to destroy themselves in the end phase unless you reveal a card from your hand that is similar to the card itself, or you reveal the iron core of the Koa'ki Meiru. This is the core card of the deck. All of these cards interact in some way, probably, likely, interact with this one card. That's it. They all interact with this. It would be hard to find a card that doesn't interact with this. That's a Koa'ki Meiru card. And the way they interact is that's how they stay on the field, by sending it to the graveyard or revealing a card similar to itself. Earn Knight with Crusader. The thing is, they get sent to the graveyard unless you reveal a Beast Warrior type monster. Well, he's a Beast Warrior type monster, and so is Earn Knight. So if you're playing a Koa'ki Meiru deck, you might be playing these cards together to have less reliance on needing this in your hand, so you can keep this on the field. There's no other Beast Warriors that I could that I know of here. Yeah, so that's the combo there. So I would think to play this deck, you're gonna have Earn Knight and Crusader. Let's talk about what they do now. Okay, so during each of your end phase, destroy this card unless you send an Iron Core Koa'ki Meiru from your hand to the graveyard, or reveal a card similar to this card, the same card type. Once per turn, this card can special summon a level 4 or lower Koa'ki Meiru monster from your deck except himself. So he could search out any, that's a ridiculous effect, and that's the point of these. These cards are supposed to have really good effects because they're all tied to this, or having to reveal a card type in the end phase. So he could tool out. Usually when I play decks that could tool out, like search, that's when I'm more likely to tech cards in. Put like one-ofs because it's searchable. So this is the super rare. You would play 3 of this. Now Sandman. What's his special effect? You know, the whole reveal end phase, or its card type, whatever, or it gets sent to the graveyard. During either player's turn, when an opponent activates a trap card, you could tribute this card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. So if you want a trap negation card, you're going to activate Earn Knight to special summon a Sandman from the deck. And wait, to special summon, you have to reveal the Iron Core. Okay, so when you have Earn Knight and an Iron Core, you could special summon anything. If you want to negate a trap, you special summon Sandman. What else? What does Crusader do, since these two are kind of connected by just being Beast Warrior? Crusader says if this destroys a monster by battle, it doesn't have to send it to the grave. This card can add a Koa'ki Meiru card from your graveyard to your hand. If you have an opening to destroy something by battle, this is really good because it will add a core from the graveyard back to your hand. It will add an Earn Knight or another Crusader from your graveyard to your hand. Also, if you use Earn Knight to special summon Crusader, you have 2 monsters that will send an Iron Core to the grave unless you reveal a Beast Warrior. So if you can destroy a Beast Warrior, add to your hand, or just by playing a bunch of, you know, Beast Warriors themselves, it keeps 2 Koa'ki Meirus on the field. So you could already kind of know where I'm going with this, where if I'm going to play a Koa'ki Meiru deck, and just a little bit of bias because of the TCG decks kind of doing well with these two, I would probably build it around these two monsters. And, you know, if I want to just negate a trap, I'll summon him. If I want to destroy a special summon monster, I'm going to summon Ice. Ice is 1900. He has to reveal a continuous or send an Iron Core to stay on the field. Once per turn, or not even once per turn. It's not once per turn. You could send a card from your hand to the graveyard, destroy a special summon monster on the field. So if you summon this, if you go Earn Knight into Ice or just normal summon Ice, you could destroy a full, almost a full Fur Hire field. So the first Fur Hire, they summon 2 monsters. You could discard 2 cards from your hand, destroy that one with Ice, and you could search him with Earn Knight. Would I play a deck focused on 2 to 3 Ice? Probably not. I would just focus on having one of him plus a way to summon him through Earn Knight. Okay. Now, Maximus. This card is nuts. But the problem with this card is it's a 1-turn blowout. Like, if you don't win that turn, or you can't keep him on the field, he sucks. But otherwise, he's incredible. 3000 attack. You special summon this by banishing your core. So this card that's so important, you're banishing it. Where all the other cards just send into the graveyard. And when you send this to the graveyard during your draw phase, you could skip your draw to add it to your hand to, you know, keep the Koa'ki Meirus on the field. Or you could discard a Koa'ki Meiru monster from your hand to add it from the grave back to your hand, all during the draw phase. Okay? So we have this that banishes it, and when it banishes it, it's 3000 attack. It's a special summon. Once per turn, destroy a card on the field. You can only reveal an Iron Core to keep it on the field. He doesn't have that secondary effect to reveal something. Koa'ki Meiru Power Hand. Let's read through the rest. So the only super rares are Earn Knight and Sandman. But this is good. This is good. This is good. Not a super rare, not an ultra rare. Good, 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 good. Let's see what the rest are good. Koa'ki Meiru Power Hand. Level 4, 2100 attack, so 2100 for a level 4. You can, if this card battles a light or dark monster, negate their effects. If their effects that activate or apply on the field negate their effects, okay, garbage. So I just want to help you get separate. I want to show you how many cards we have to look at. Koa'ki Meiru Prototype. If a face-up Koa'ki Meiru monster on the field would be destroyed during the end phase, you could destroy this card instead. When a face-up Koa'ki Meiru on the field is destroyed, special summon a 1800 attack token. Like, cool, great effect, but no. This, I guess if you want to Earn Knight into this, otherwise this card sucks. This card sucks unless you Earn Knight into it, and then I guess you would destroy this card instead. I mean, come on, this sucks. Koa'ki Meiru Sea Panther, 1900 attack, reveal water or send an Iron Core. Once per turn, you could send an Iron Core from your hand to the graveyard to return a spell card from your graveyard to the top of your deck. Bad. So bad, bad, bad. Now we're on to, I mean, we still have more monsters. Let's look at these. Koa'ki Meiru Valifar. How do you summon this? You could tribute summon this card by tributing 1 Koa'ki Meiru. Otherwise, it requires 2 monsters. So no special summon effect. This card cannot be destroyed by effects of trap cards. Between battle, deal pierce. Garbage. Koa'ki Meiru Guga Gaga. During each of your end of battle phase, you could reveal a zombie or send an Iron Core. It's a 1 tribute. If a Koa'ki Meiru monster would be destroyed by battle card effects, you can remove from play 1 Koa'ki Meiru from your graveyard instead. It's hard to tribute summon. So, garbage. Garbage. Koa'ki Meiru Boulder. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add an Iron Core or a level 4 lower Koa'ki Meiru from your deck to your hand. Okay. This, I'll put it up to potential good. I'll put it up here. So basically, we went through all of the monsters. Okay, let's get to the traps. Okay, you got the monsters. Now let's go to the traps. Counter trap. So As you guys know, counter traps, some of you know this, you cannot negate this card with Wiz. Nope, no negate with Wiz. So it's a trap. Reveal an Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, Cocaine Meiru from your hand. Negate the activation of a spell or trap and destroy it. So it's like, woo, that's good. I mean, the whole deck's about getting Iron Core. You'll probably have Iron Core just like the monsters, and this negates a spell and trap. That is nuts, right? Well, I don't think so. The Koa'ki Meirus, to keep them on the field, you have to send the core to the graveyard. It's not reveal, it's send to the grave. So a regular turn, if I summon this, for example, and send this to the grave, then I set this, well, my Iron Core's in the grave. And it's going to keep being sent to the grave by their effect to stay on the field. So, I mean, I guess during your turn, you can negate a trap because you'll have the Iron Core in your hand, or you hopefully have another Beast Warrior to reveal instead of sending this, and then you'll have this. So this is only good with this if I have another Beast Warrior in my hand. I don't like that. So I'm not a fan of this. It's great, but, you know, maybe. You need 2 Iron Cores to even make it good. So it only really works on your turn. Okay, Koa'ki Meiru Shields. This is a normal trap. This, I feel, is better than this. I think it's more reasonable. I'd rather play this. Activate only when your opponent declares an attack if you have 2 or more Iron Cores in the graveyard. Well, your core is going to keep being sent to the grave. They'll be in the grave on your opponent's turn. If you could just get 2 Iron Core searches, then you could have this be live, and it's a goddamn Mirror Force. Next up, the final trap. Activate only if you control a face-up Koa'ki Meiru monster and have an Iron Core in your graveyard. Negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy it. So at quick glance, you would look at this. It's counter trap, so Wiz can't negate it. At quick glance, you would look at this and be like, well, this only requires you to reveal. This requires you to have a monster and an Iron Core in the graveyard, but still, this one I feel is more consistent because think about it. Turn 1, I'm going to normal summon. I'm going to send this to the graveyard. Well, that meets the requirement. I have this on the field. I have this in the grave. I could use this, but I can't use this because I sent my core to the graveyard. So, you know, this could be like a good mid-game, the shield, the mirror force. Otherwise, I like this card. So I would probably use this with my Koa'ki Meirus. That's it for traps. So we got the monsters, we got the traps. I like this. I kind of like this. I don't really like this. Let's move on to the spells. So the main spell is this. Now we're going to be thinking about how do we search this card? We don't really have a way to... The traps don't search it. The monsters don't search it unless you play a crappy monster like this. So how do we make this consistent? You could play core transport unit. Continuous. Once per turn, you could discard a card, any card, to add an Iron Core from your deck to your hand. So I like to think about balance. When I'm thinking Koa'ki Meirus, one of the ways to play Koa'ki Meirus, probably play 3 of this and 3 of this. If you play 3 and 3, you are 100% guaranteed to have an Iron Core in your opening hand. You know, through discarding or opening this, and then all your monsters will be safe. Or you could have an Iron Core immediate disposal. Normal spell. I don't like this because it's really slow. You send an Iron Core from your deck to the graveyard. You have to wait an entire turn until your draw phase before you could add it to your hand. You can't right away add it. There's no way, really. So I like transport unit over this. So basically, transport unit and Koa'ki Meiru Iron Core is the consistent way to have an Iron Core in your hand. Core compression. Reveal an Iron Core from your hand. Revealing is okay as long as you do it on your turn. On your opponent's turn, your core is going to be in the grave. So reveal an Iron Core, discard a Koa'ki Meiru monster, draw 2 cards. That's pretty nice. It's a hefty requirement. Hefty. Because you'll probably have a Koa'ki Meiru on the field. And, you know, to having a Koa'ki Meiru in your hand, I don't know. That's nuts. So if you were to play balance with these cards, it's going to be hard to fit something in like this. So this, you'd maybe play in like a Saki version of Maximus. to, you know, just to get that sacky YouTube combo off. So is this just a YouTube card? Probably. Is it good for YouTube? That's what we'll figure out. So far, oh, and then you got, you know, obviously this card. So basically, Koa'ki Meiru's, they got 2 good traps. I mean, I'm just gonna say everything's decent. At least 2 decent traps, at least 2 decent cards. You can't really rate. This is the core card. You have to play this, and then at least 6 decent monsters. So all of this right here is just, that's it. Is it? Well, here to here with a lot of support for nothing. I think so.